Welcome to MixLife 67. Even though I called it 66. Yeah, that's right. It'll be called 67 by the end. That's for sure.
We're on top of it. We really are.
60 something.
just back in the cut with more vaping knowledge right here.
Let's see. Let's see if this works.
So I saw you just dropped a recipe with the Silver Line candied watermelon. So you digging that stuff?
I do. I like it. It tastes just like the fake candy watermelon in Bubblicious. I think, yeah, Bubblicious. And
yeah, it's spot on to Bubblicious. Like, that's the thing. Like, it's not a great watermelon flavor, but it's spot the fuck on to Bubblicious.
Yeah, and so when I smelled it, I was like excited to mix with it. And I don't really get excited to mix with much stuff. But when I smelled it and I was like, oh, this is it. This is that note. And I just knew there wasn't going to be any watermelon note at all under like 10% with this because it's already trash strength. So I started at like 14 and then I went down to, I think I ended up at like 12 and then boosted it with Loran's because I had started with Lavoro and it didn't watermelon enough. So I switched to Loran's. But yeah, I wanted to get a jump on the Silver Line and I wanted to mix with this. And then I've been concepting a Nick Salt series, which the UK can't do Nick Salts right now. But I figure like maybe people in the UK will get a hold of some so they can mix through my salt series kind of. But I can't release any UK products with chefs salt-wise because it's really hard to get. So if people do get Nick Salts, maybe through like an import, then you can mix this up. Don't mix this recipe without Nick Salt though, because it's like 29%.
Yeah, maybe skip that one. It's not going to go well.
I like the Nick Salt recipes because I put them up and then I'm like, I just know that out of like the 500 people that look at it, there's going to be like 10 pretentious douchebags that are like 29% flavor, and think it's a shitty mix, not realizing like maybe they've never Nick Salt mixed yet, so they're just like, I just believe that there's like 10 grumpy old dudes that are gonna just shit all over these Nick Salt mixes I've done. I had Apex even freaking out over the grape soda plus sweetener mix I did.
Dude, Apex freaks out about everything, but he doesn't like come out and freak out. Like he'll like frame it as concern for your general well-being. He doesn't call you an idiot. He just asks if you're feeling okay, basically.
Yeah. I wasn't sure about that, but I trust you. Like I said, Chris DVR with his ridiculous fuckery recipe.
I mean, Chris DVR is mostly fuckery. Let's not bury the lead there.
He's the rookie.
Dude, Chris DVR sent me that awesome insulated travel mug of Colt in drag. So I can't get mad at Chris DVR. He's my favorite person.
That's funny shit. Yeah, I got the Capellas. We can talk about them. I got all four. That's the candy watermelon. You're not gonna be able to see it. Candy watermelon. Green apple hard candy, crunchy frosted cookie, which green apple hard candy, I mean, I like them all because every single one of them, when I got them, I saw a recipe that I could build with them, right? They're going to be shitty on their own. I know that already. Generally, you know, that could be like a Capella Silverline tagline is shitty on its own. But, you know, the crunchy frosted cookie got me wanting to make a Christmas cookie. Like those, like, you know, I mean, I don't even know what they're, Crunchy frosted cookie. They're just like shitty cookies with shitty icing.
It's just shitty in general. It's like it's like those versions of gingerbread cookies or whatever, where they just use sugar cookie dough and you have kids decorate them and they all taste like ass.
But it's not, yeah, it's not the good sugar cookie that has like the crispiness to it. And the chewiness. It's just like crumble sugar cookie. But it would probably make a really good vape. But immediately when I got it, I was looking for more cookie to add to it, because it's the weird shitty cookie note from like, and you know these cookies because they're always at like Christmas parties and no one eats them, or they're always like free at the grocery store. Like that's the cookie we're talking about. It's got icing on it, but it's like a sugar cookie. So it had me thinking like good Christmas recipe, but you could not just start with this. You're gonna have to back it up with. I'm thinking flavor art cookie, because I don't want the weird buttery thing that sugar cookie Capella has. So probably matching this with flavor art cookie would make an interesting start. What do you think?
That crunchy frosted cookie. So it's a weird flavor to me because like I totally get exactly what they're going for in like the top notes, right? Like the room note on it is just crazy. Like it smells exactly like what it's supposed to smell like. It just, there's this problem for me in the base with how it vapes. Like the actual body of the flavor doesn't feel right. Like the top notes are all there. There's a little bit of texture down the base, but there's like almost a chemical sort of vaguely sweet astringent note just right down the middle of the flavor. So I think it's probably, for me at least, going to be like more of an accent than anything else. But the top note is like spooky accurate. And again, like the room note is exactly right. It's just there's something weird with the body of that flavor.
Yeah, so maybe like a long steep and a lot of cookies to hide it. You might be able to.
Yeah. So Raven Shadow, I don't think it's like a soft baked sugar cookie. Like when they say like crunchy, like they mean like crunchy shitty. Like it's not a good cookie. It's just that very identifiable kind of like bad cookie taste. It's almost like a drier, more crumbly version of like a cake batter dip flavor.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find it.
Yeah, that candy watermelon, like it's not perfect, but yeah, it has that straight up like bubblicious note. The tropical fruit punch was kind of a letdown because I was super excited when I started vaping it, because like the first half of the vape with it is great. Like it is a fantastic like Hawaiian punch kind of profile. Like it's right there. And then I get cherry and like bad cherry, like nightmare cherry towards the end, and it just ruins it from me there. So that was kind of a huge letdown for me, I want to say, just because like it started off so strong and then just fell apart at the end. I'm actually vaping their green apple hard candy right now, and it's really good.
What'd you mix it with?
Just vape. Yeah, just vaping it solo. Just vaping a solo at like 8%, and it's the same kind of green apple from Capella's normal green apple, which is already like probably the best candy green apple flavor that I've tried. And then whatever they're doing for the hard candy, like it maybe seems a little bit more floral and chemical, but it's not like Flavor West hard candy chemical or anything. But it has that kind of like warm, slobbery kind of mouthfeel that you'd want from a hard candy vape. So it's really impressive. I just don't know entirely what I'd do with it outside of like really niche applications, but I think it's a really solid flavor if that's a profile you're going for.
Yeah, like you're making apple hard candy, and it's going to be green with this flavor.
Yeah, I think like if I wanted to completely just give up for the day, you could probably turn it into like with some alpine strawberry and then maybe Perillum watermelon. You could probably turn it into like a hard candy version of a strap-on pretty easily. You might be able to work in like some Flavora sour apple that I've tested a little bit of sour apple with this. It goes super well to like really pick up the tartness. So you might be able to do some of that. Maybe go for like a green apple sour straw kind of thing. But yeah, it's solid. It's kind of locked into profile.
Nice. Yeah, so I'll drop the recipe. It's on all the flavors. I'm trying to be a little more post more there. I only have like, I think this is like my 10th recipe there, so I haven't really been very active. So
we did have a mixer collection question. So Dominic Tavar in the chat is going to Cancun next month. Do you guys know the name of a shop that has your team's juice? So you mixers in Mexico, right?
Yeah, we are. Give me a second and I can probably figure that out. Yeah, mixer collections up in Mexico and Canada, and I think Australia, and I think New Zealand at some point. Okay, yeah, I know where to find it. What have you been working on recipe wise?
Oh, not too much, honestly. Just trying to get back to the swing of doing flavor testing and videos and all that. I've been doing a couple things that I kind of got to keep under wraps just because my recipe development hasn't been huge. I haven't had a bunch of stuff to kick out to DIY lately. So VDog did ask what does strap-on mean? Did you miss the great strap-on craze?
Yeah.
It was another thing that ID10T tried to foist upon people with strawberry, apple, and watermelon. So there's a whole bunch of like strap-on recipes that use that basic base and do some interesting things with it.
Yeah, it's ID10T making everybody uncomfortable as usual.
Yeah, that's kind of his thing. If it's vaguely sexual, he's all over it. So be on the lookout for his next series of light butt playa recipes.
All right, if you want the mixer collection in Cancun, you're going to want to go to Vapor House. Vapor House Cancun is their Instagram, all one word if you're looking for them. So as you make your bad decisions, you can make one good one and get some mixer collection on your Mexico trip. Don't get kidnapped by the cartel. That's the second rule. First rule is get mixer collection. Second rule, don't get kidnapped by the cartel.
You got to have your priorities straight. Make sure you get your mixer collection before you get abducted. And
yeah, because then you can vape it and you're having a good time. And you're like, all right, well, at least I have something nice to vape while I'm in the back of this van.
Being ransomed for something like $7,000 back to your family. Yeah.
Ransomed in Dogecoin. Oh, yeah.
Dude, even the cartels have abandoned Bitcoin at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I've been working on going through a lot of Vape Train flavor notes, which has been fun. Did some crowdsourcing on the reviews that people want to see, so that's cool. Trying to actually engage with people, so we'll see how well that works out. I'm terrible, so.
The antisocial social media guy.
Dude, it's so bad. Like, how do you have a social media presence when you can't even look at yourself in a mirror, let alone deal with other people on a regular basis? It's fun.
You're looking in the mirror and you're just like, that's the best you can do?
That's it?
I did get some WS3. What the hell's that? Supposed to be 23 was what I thought I was ordering.
I think there was like a big thing on the DIY Mixers Collective about like WS3 isn't Coolata, yada yada yada. I think it's pretty much Coolata.
What's the difference between WS3 and wasn't there a WS23?
Yeah, there's WS23, there's WS5. The WS stands for Wilkinson Sword. It was actually like a company that came out with a whole bunch of different like topical sort of coolants for, I guess, mainly cosmetic products, like way back in the day. And some of them got
icy hot.
Yeah, like some of them got trade names, some of them just like stuck underneath whatever the actual number is. It's just different ways to chill the fuck out of your mouth.
So is 3 colder than 2?
I have never even heard of WS2. But 23 by volume, 23 is actually less intense than WS3, but 23 is usually mixed to 30% concentration.
So WS3 is lower compared to, so WS23 is actually 23 on the scale, so it's way up there. Okay.
I don't know if there's any like ordinal logic to it. I honestly know almost nothing from the shit that I've gleaned from like looking at that one deeper DIY post and listening to other people. But yeah, there's just a whole bunch of different fucking coolants. And WS3 is pretty much just Coolata.
And I did get my old favorite Hangsen USA Red Mix. Smells a little different than Bull Cities. Still smells good though. It's a good tobacco note. And then I'm gonna try deep fried pastry dough because Too Tall's put it in like everything he's made in the last 2 months.
Yeah, but I mean, he puts out like 4 recipes a day. Stuff like that's bound to happen.
He just works through the flavor bottle like.
Okay, this one's gone. Time to move on to something else.
Yeah, I've used all my strawberry. Done with strawberry recipe.
Yeah, draws in the chat over there is So it's just it's not representative of strength. It's the order they're discovered in. So yeah, it's just a series of like trade names for whatever cooling molecules they actually put out at the time.
And what is the coldest one? Draws.
I think it's probably WS5 of the ones that anybody actually uses. WS5 super, super intense.
Well, see, you guys are learning about coolant today. You learn something new every day on MixLife. Sometimes you're glad about it. Sometimes you're not.
Sometimes it's information you didn't want to know, like Dave's predilection for strap-ons.
Or was it the Bernstein or Bernstein Bears?
Oh, let's not.
that one will make you go a little crazy and doubt everything. And you're like, that's why Trump's president, and that's why this book we switched. It'd be crazy if we switched dimensions and just didn't catch it. And that's why.
Well, I just like say that there's an infinite number of dimensions, right? And we moved over a different dimension. Like, why would the only difference be how a fucking children's book name is spelled? Like it doesn't work like that.
It was a short hop. It was we only hopped to like 1 or 2 over. So,
well, with like the infinite worlds hypothesis, right? So the idea is that every time that something can happen, it creates a branching divergent universe. So you're like, there's no reason there'd be something as coherently different as a children's book name being spelled differently. Like we're not in fucking Sliders is what I'm trying to say here.
But how do you know?
See, and then then there's no like empirical proof or whatever. So
you ever watch Joe Rogan and Eddie Bravo argue? Like Eddie Bravo is like hardcore conspiracy. But when you start to try to like prove it to him, he'll be like, I don't know, man. You don't know, man. You don't know. so they get so mad because they're like, nah, motherfucker, it's lightning. We just showed you. Nah, I don't know, man. I don't know if I can believe that's what that is. They're arguing nuclear weapons. And he's like, well, have you ever seen a nuclear bomb? And he's like, it's a nuclear bomb, Eddie. And then he's like, yeah, I know it's big, but like, they might just make it look bigger than it really is. It might be smaller, like a regular bomb, and they just call it nuclear. And they're like, nah. And then the podcast guy that helps them is like getting furious at the stupidness, and he's yelling, and he's like, no, there's info. You can go to school. You can study physics. It's real. And he's like, yeah, I don't know, man. I just don't know. And it's like the best way to end with the debate is like, yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, you can't prove it. That's fine. Like, I don't think that people understand that that's not the way that logic works. You can't prove a negative. I can't prove to you that Bigfoot does not exist. It is not my job to prove to you that Bigfoot does not exist. Mm-hmm. If you are positing something, it's your job to prove it. You can't disprove a negative. Like, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Fuck. MixLife's over.
I'm done here, goddammit. You do a Grant drop.
Over.
Graham drops off the show. Well, I guess that happened, folks.
Because that's why you watch MixLife, is for our takes on like rhetorical soundness of arguments for conspiracy theories. So
yeah, we're an entertainment comedy podcast first.
We're just bad at it.
we're really good. We're good at being bad at it.
So here, Adam, you probably had more experience with this than I have, seeing as I hate strawberries with a passion. What is the best strawberry vanilla cream mix? Strawberry Fog is good.
Well, you're gonna mix up. Wayne's Quick is not bad. The only strawberry cream that I actually like. No, there's just none.
We're super helpful here. You know, if you want to get some cheap buy-in, God Milk is good. I've heard really good things about Chiba Steba's strawberry and cream, but I think it uses Alpine or something like that, so that might not be for everybody.
I mean, the problem with strawberry, or things you have to deal with strawberry. If you start at what a real strawberry is, the real strawberry is strained as a fruit, in that there's chemicals in the strawberry that make your tongue receptors perceive a greater sweetness than there actually is. So it's like it's a magic trick almost to your taste buds. So then you're trying to make a strawberry with e-juice, and you're like, oh, this doesn't create the same experience. It's very hard to create that strawberry experience. Now, FA Red Touch gets used a lot. Back when I bothered with strawberry, my strawberry was strawberry ripe at 4. Strawberry ripe at 4, sweet strawberry at 2, regular strawberry at 2, dragon fruit at 1, sweetener at 1. That was the strawberry I used to make, and it tastes like a strawberry. And then you could add a drop of Alpine, but it's really like a sweet strawberry is your tart strawberry. Strawberry ripe is your muddled, almost rotted strawberry. And then the strawberry non-ripe is kind of middle strawberry flavor. Dragon fruit adds the triacetin, which helps bind it. And then it just adds like a nice other flavor that you can call a strawberry. And then you're adding the sweetener. You want to add Flavor West sweetener and not TPA, because you're going to mute down all your good stuff. So that is my strawberry thoughts. But I don't mix strawberry because it comes across, so it mutes everything down because it's all maltol. So you can make something taste really vibrant, and then you steep it out, and then you just get this dumb strawberry. So
I just posted a link in the chat. I know that Emily put out a strawberry and cream recipe not long ago that actually looks really good. So that would probably be a good place to start. I know she's been holding off on putting one out forever, so she's happy. That's probably pretty good.
Yeah, that's Dave's Holy Trinity strawberry.
Yeah. So suggest some flavors to go with FA Cola. First of all, thank you, Mike Lewis, for watching my face on videos. I don't understand why people put themselves through that torture, but I really do appreciate it. So thank you. So if you wanted to fill out FA Cola a little bit, it kind of depends on what direction you want to take it. I think FA Cola is one of the few colas out there that kind of remembers that you do need some vanilla and caramel, but I think it could probably use a little bit more. I think if I'm going for like a beveragey type cola, you can actually use a little bit of the extra body for something like whereas shisha vanilla that kind of helps thicken out that cola a little bit, gives you a little bit more vanilla to it. For caramel, I've been messing around with Flavor West salted caramel with that too, and so the combination of the extra body from the shisha vanilla, the extra cola, that kind of helps if you want like a more like solid cola kind of vape. If you want to take it more in a like very liquidy beverage or like cola freeze kind of direction, Liquid Barn's Cola Freeze at like 8% actually works really well with FA Cola around 3 or 4% too, and that gives you like a pretty good like glass of cola kind of vape.
Cool. Yeah. Speaking of cola, I guess I can't. Never mind. Go colas. I'm drinking this cola. It's 1983 ginger cola.
How is it?
It's very good. It's Pepsi, but it's like I guess they went back and it's made with cola nut extract, real ginger, real sugar. So I think they're trying to create like their original recipes. It says 1893 on it, so
yeah,
cowboy soda.
Dude, I used to like the Red Bull cola while that existed. Like they got rid of it years ago, but for a while they were selling like a Red Bull cola that had like actual botanicals and like cane sugar in it as opposed to just high fructose corn syrup, and it was pretty good.
I had Surge today from Burger King. They have Surge because it was like a nostalgia. Nostalgia's a bitch, man.
You took a sip of it and then crawled directly up a mountain of muddy people and yelled. Like that's what Surge does.
I chugged it and then I hacked Napster.
So is there a way of doing cotton candy without using a cotton candy flavoring?
No.
So yeah.
Fuck cotton candy. 100%. I spent a month of my life making bad chemical cotton candy recipes. So my answer is no. Proceed, Concrete.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, I don't understand the cotton candy thing, but really when it comes down to it, what you're looking for is texture. And it just so happens that high concentrations of maltol or ethyl maltol have that kind of texture to them. So if you really wanted to avoid a cotton candy flavoring, you can take like one of the Cap sweet fruits, like their sweet watermelon or their sweet like whatever the hell, and crank those all the way up because they have a whole lot of maltol in them, and you get some of that same kind of fluffy dryness. Add a little bit extra vanilla because there's usually some vanilla in there, and you'll get close to a cotton candy effect. It might not be all that fun to vape, but that's the way you'd probably get there without a cotton candy flavor. I still like Flavor West blueberry cotton candy. I think that's like the best cotton candy concentrate. It's pretty much just a one shot, but
and then it'll burn too. So like, depending on how you vape, the cotton candy mixes will give you this like harsh burn note if you hit it too high. So you have to keep it low when you test, like a 3.2 volt. But if you get it like 3.6 through 4, it like cooks it.
And Vito is saying marshmallow maybe for cotton candy. And yeah, I mean, you can get body there. Like that isn't really the issue. I think like if you add enough marshmallow though, you're going to get body, but it's going to be fluffy as opposed to like spun sugar, which is really exactly what maltol and ethyl maltol do at high percentages.
They got Red Bull Cola in the UK still.
Oh man, I wish I could get a visa, but you know, all those convictions. I'm kidding.
Do the Amazon UK.
Yeah. I still feel like I need to like order some Ravenna because for fuck's sake, I've used that to describe many different things talking about black currant flavors. And it's been forever since I actually drank any of that.
You're gonna be like, I'm so wrong. I've been horribly wrong so long.
I've been wrong my entire life.
It's nothing. It's Bernstein Bears.
We're through the looking glass here.
Verbena tastes like peaches.
No, see, that's verbena, like lemon verbena. I think it's Ravenna over there.
Ravenna tastes like verbena.
Ravenna tastes like lemon verbena. Life has no meaning. Everything is doomed.
Oh man, MixLife, the DIY e-liquid show, 67.
I have been messing around with. I needed to order Flavor West Tropical Cream Breeze for a recipe I was working on. It's actually pretty good, which is kind of surprising.
Jennifer Jarvis joins MixLife. The chair of Jennifer Jarvis has joined. And it's laughing at us.
It's the first time I've been laughed at by furniture today.
She got the cornrows. She gonna fuck you up.
Oh, there we go. Oi.
We're gonna get cut.
You're gonna get sliced with a multicolor knife.
Oh no. I've got Skype. I've got this going at the same time. Okay, there we go. Now I can hear you. Hi.
How's it going?
I came in on Berenstein Bears. I was like, uh-oh. We've got conspiracy theory, it sounds like.
Yeah, that's where we got to. How's it going?
Digging the hair, by the way.
Nice full beard, yes. I have unicorn poop cotton candy in my hair.
We were just talking about cotton candy, so that's perfect. Yep. How I hate the flavor and tried to make a quality cotton candy for like 3 weeks and then just rage quit. Probably 200 mils of testing.
Did you happen to try like 2 or 3% of one-on-one's powdered sugar with a bit of TFA's Circus cotton candy?
I got Circus cotton candy. I was going blue raz, so I played with all kinds of blue raspberry variations.
The powdered sugar, when you turn it way up, has almost a candy floss texture. It's weird.
So try not to buy one-on-one.
I know. I don't like using them for development in any way, but
the creator
of public recipe, if you're gonna do that, you could always do
one-on-one created the one shot, everyone.
Yeah.
The $14 one shot.
Oh shit, I probably owe them royalties at this point.
I was talking to people in Australia doing doublers, which were the original versions of one shots. They were like short fills essentially, only just double the amount. And you would pour in, your PGVG or whatever else to it, nicotine. But since nicotine's illegal in Australia, still.
Yeah.
They weren't technically importing it.
So there was a question in the chat. Jen, do you have any opinions on FA Royal?
I like it.
That is technically an opinion.
It has a musty library smell, but in a good way. Like it has that bit of a yummy old book smell on top of the soft leathery notes. And I like to use it in with the stouter tobaccos to kind of pull them down a little and must it up.
So it's basically a tweed jacket of a flavor.
Yeah, there we go. But it's a good tobacco. I like that one. I used that this past week with Jen when we were mixing Candy Wizard into. No, we didn't use Royal. We were going to use Royal. That was one of the conversations that we were having over what tobaccos would be good. And I like Royal. She uses Royal a lot as well. I don't know where I've put it amongst my mess.
You've been working on any public recipes lately?
The one tonight for the profiteroles. for our Mix and Vixens flavor. I haven't even done my last week's Fall into the Fairy World flavor for Year of Mixing yet. I still have it. I'm sitting on it.
It's August. I'm just trying. Like
y'all are cranking out those public recipes for Mix and Vixens. Like I would jump off of a bridge.
It's kind of fun. I like having the different inspirations. I have been mixing stuff for my Year of Mixing, but half the time I haven't published the recipes because I ended up using them somewhere commercially.
Yeah, like I would rather do like 10 commercial recipes than one competition recipe, just because of all the stress of what's the other mixer gonna do. Like that adds so much, because then you start like, okay, what's Concrete gonna do with these flavors? What's Jen gonna do with like when you're in competition, it fucks with your head so much.
Mental games, man. You just go for the games.
Yeah.
I just view most of the competition stuff we do in vaping as just fun. It's not serious. I mean, this is
Well, the only serious one was when I beat Dave. That's the only serious mix off.
It's the only one that's mattered to this day.
It got ugly. It got real ugly.
I have a great photo. If you go back to that video, the thumbnail image is Dave's face when he finds out he loses, and he's just like total smug. Just is the best, and it just locked on that shot. So I took a screen clip of him just out frowning. It was great.
When he dies of a bang overdose, I'm gonna take that picture and put it in his local paper saying local mixer who was not as good as Concrete River dies.
The second greatest mixer in the world has passed away by Concrete River. A mixer who's questionable in his love of Lavoro creams and mangoes. He leaves behind 700 mango flavors
and a stack of empty heart attack bang cans.
And then 600 recipes that had no actual recipes in them on all the flavors. 600 filler recipes. Oh shit! So I'm going to Vegas for sure. I got tickets. I bought the tickets to Vegas, and I have the hotel, but I don't have tickets from Vegas yet. So I'm in Vegas for sure.
You could just hitchhike back or something. Like, what's the plan there, dude?
I don't know yet. Get back has got to be figured out, but I'm in Vegas for the show.
And just for the duration at this point. There's no plan to leave.
Yeah.
Might just be staying in Vegas.
Yeah, it's going to be me and Graham joining on one burner cell phone for the stopgap show.
Just be careful that Graham doesn't ask you to shave your beard and wear a dress.
Yeah. Try out his new products from his company.
And the next thing you know, you're down on the strip.
Yeah.
Wearing high heels.
I'm pretty sure every single guest appearance by Graham has been, well, he hands out naked postcards to strip clubs to people that don't want them on the strip.
Hey, you can't knock the hustle there, man. You gotta make your money somehow.
Oh shit.
Just be careful taking drinks from him.
I had a really good call with Lavoro. We talked about some Vegas stuff and kind of just from a mixer perspective, how not to make our lives hell. Like maybe bringing one pre-made one shot that we come up with. And then I've been working with Liquid Barn to get those basic mixing bottles, right? Just like hundreds of those. Because then if we got Chef's one shots and we have hundreds of those pre-base nick with the caps we can pop off, we can just be mixing off one shots for people. Because they want to like give people gifts of one shots, right? But that gets tricky if you don't have like your one shots from a company. But we're gonna have chefs there, right? So that'll be our retail vendor for e-juice makers. So you'll be able to buy either finished or one shots or mix that shit yourself. I'm not sure, but it'll be a lot of e-juice makers stuff. So if you guys are near Vegas, you want to come meet the team and, you know, just see kind of ways we mix, what we do, talk about stuff in person that maybe you don't want to ask on YouTube, whatever, we can make that happen. What else is going on? I talked to him about the flavor process, because he spends a lot of time working on flavor development. And something he said that I thought you guys would think is interesting is that every country that they want to have as a customer. So like say you're going to take this candied watermelon, right? And you want to sell to the US. You have to follow these regulations. So now you want to sell this to the US and Canada. You got to follow US and Canada regulations. But then you get to the UK, right? And what he said is that a lot of the European countries have extremely strict flavoring laws, and they'll have different types of flavoring laws. So in order for you to be a flavoring house that has the most customers possible, you have to at times like not put in this certain ingredient that may make it better, but just it can't make it to all your customer base. Because I said it straight up. I'm like, half of your flavors are not what they say on the label. You know, they don't. They're cool flavors, some of these things, but the name is not what they say they are. And he said a lot of that had to do with the release for, you know, getting out before the predicate date or whatever, 2016. They didn't know if it was going to be all your e-juice has to have flavoring that came out before 2016. And that was the way
they put a push on it, and they rushed to deliver however many was in that batch there right before August. It was ridiculous, and they knew they had some flavors that were kind of like fried dough.
Right. Yeah. So
I've had that conversation with Brendan before.
Yeah, he acknowledged it and was like, you know, that was then, and then kind of where we are now is he explained to me the acai teas and the weird release, right, was directly for a Japanese
Asian
flavor
market. Yeah.
Yeah, and there was a company they were making the pitch to that, you know, the flavors that you're using from China or from Japan are not the best options. So then they developed that line to kind of win the client, if you will.
Yeah.
And they love those. So that's how that came about. If you're wondering about those weird flavors, he said that UK is really liking the black tea. So
it's kind of like FA with the red bean. I mean, that was really developed just for primarily the Asian market.
And then they go a lot in a house. So like they're finding like flavoring companies in Japan, and they work with that, or China's going through like Hangsen or a couple others.
Yep.
Now, if they can create this movement, and we can help create the movement to be like doing recipes for the Asian market, would be very cool. You know, that'd be fun. But that's what Lavoro is working on, is just really trying to make the best flavors they can nowadays and still be available to as many places as possible. So it was cool to talk to him. It was cool to hear how he's, you know, working with the rest of the DIY community, and just they got the right kind of thoughts about it. Let's see what else. They're a big deal at the show in Vegas. So if you like Lavoro stuff, I think Capella's going to be there as well. And then I don't know if Flavor Art or TPA will be there. I think Inaware might be there though. So we're going to have Flavora, Capella, and then Inaware, and maybe Liquid Barn would be who we can mix with. So I can make that work. And then chefs too. So like you could you could pull a lot with Chef stuff, even just grabbing some of their one-shots and turning them into other things. Yeah, Lewis and Carl are going to be there from Chefs, I think. It hasn't been confirmed, but it's like they're working on it. So that would be super cool. And like that alone for me is worth going just to meet those guys and thank them. Because they definitely were the first to really put support and a lot of cash behind e-juice makers to get us going. So much appreciated. Let me see what else is going on there. There's going to be like DIY mix-off, all kinds of stuff going on. So it's going to be fun. And then...
And they're dropping the B2B day right now. It's just 2 days of like full on. Yeah.
So listen to the reason for that is that convention center says if you're going to do a B2B day, every product has to have "this is nicotine" on it. Every product, every shirt, every fucking cup, every mod, every tank, every product has to have "this is nicotine" tobacco product shit. Or you can
only if it's a B2B.
Only if it's B2B.
Between...
Well, you don't have to do it if it's B2C, but if you do it B2B, you have to do that. Every vendor, every product. So they were like, all right, Friday's B2C. Right.
Like,
so,
I was just thinking like Ash would be like psyched for that because he could just sell a truckload of his "this is a nicotine product" stickers and just make out like a bandit.
Yeah. That's make $500,000 so that all the shops can sell their shit at the show.
I'm just gonna get that tattooed on me. From now on, I'm a nicotine product.
There's a cool thing there. It's like a bunch of the European distribution houses that sell juice to a ton of vape shops over there are going to be at this show. And then they're going to have like a little conference get together where you can like meet one-on-one with different distribution houses. So I'm trying to get Scott to head down there or just send us some mixer collection so we can rep it. And then that's what he'd recommended we do is even if we don't have a booth, even if Scott doesn't show up, to have like 50 bottles to be able to represent the brand and make some deals. I think Phil Busardo is going to be there. I think Grim Green's a maybe, but there's going to be some people. So they're going to put us right next to it on the map. We're like right next to all this VIP vape people. So that'll be good too, because we could probably be like, yo, try this fucking one shot.
There's like a DIY ghetto. I was looking at like the floor plan. They've got us like sequestered in our own section so we don't tell people they can make their own juice.
Don't tell them. Don't tell them it's cheaper over there. Who was it? Tony from the Vapor Trail. I handed him my sugar cookie fluff and he takes the cap off the one shot and fucking tastes it, squirts it on his tongue. And I just can't, there was no time to be like, no, stop, don't do that. It's
slow motion dive just right in front of it.
It's an alcoholic concentrated flavor that's not going to be pleasant. And he was just like, oh. I was like, yeah. He's like, oh, it makes sense that it wouldn't be good because it's the concentrate, right? And I just stared at it. I'm like, this is not how I expected this to go down. It's not going to turn into it.
This is all going off the rails quickly.
Yeah, this is not going to turn into a vape review for sure.
I had one shot and I blew it. He just squirted the concentrate directly into his mouth.
Yeah. No, that's the poison one. Oh, man. Yeah, so Vegas is fun. I'm excited about it. I like it because it's like, it's a chance to, you know, as a DIY mixer, hang out with the rest of the crew, at least some of you guys, which will be fun.
Yeah, like see people in person, like that's going to be surreal.
Yeah, like I've heard Fresh is super short, and I've heard Concrete's tall, and I've heard Too Tall is like a giant.
Dude, Too Tall is like half frost giant. Seriously, that is not human DNA.
I have actually met Too Tall in person, and I come up to like his nipple.
Like, hey.
The difference is just ridiculous. I'm such a munchkin.
And I didn't know concrete was over 6 feet tall. That blew my mind. So have your mind blown, everybody. I'm over 6 feet tall. That'll blow your mind too.
I just want to know if you're as handsome in person, because I feel like you have a camera filter on. This can't be happening.
No, this is. I run the camera through Instagram and then back out.
You've got the bummy Tom Hardy filter just going all the time.
Yeah, I just turn that on. That's true. We've done it. I'm working on launching a podcast for us because people keep asking. It's like Wayne wasn't able to keep it up at the podcast. So I've got the first 55 shows that I'm converting to audio, and then I'm going to upload and push to Google and iTunes for everybody. So that's coming eventually. And then if you're not in the MixLife group, we've kind of directed it to be mostly about like Facebook or for recipes. So a lot of these groups start as recipes and then they kind of de-evolve into some weird, like, let me show a picture of bottles that I mix stuff in. Like it doesn't make sense. Like it doesn't really help anybody. So I've taken a librarian approach of like curating the group. So you can just post recipes, post useful stuff, and that'll stick around. And then if you post whatever, I'll let it run, and then like stuff a month older, I'll delete, so that the page stays real solid for everybody to go to. What else? Oh, we got all the flavors. I'll drop that link. That's the e-juice makers tag on all the flavors is exciting. Now you can see all the team's recipes. I'll just show you guys. I'll share the screen real quick and show you how to do it. We can pull this off. Share screen. There we go. You go to recipes from all the flavors, and then you're going to go filter. You're going to scroll, tags, e-juice makers. Once that's set, you just hit the search without any search info here. And boom, there you go. Ckemist, the juice. It's all the different recipes by everybody. Steam, M on Icon. So it's a real cool way to find recipes that aren't a waste of time, that are going to taste good. So let me drop that link for all you guys in the chat. But yeah, that's exciting because it's a lot of work to try to curate everything of the recipes that everybody does, because they're always releasing a ton of recipes. So this was kind of a gift, if you will, to use the tagging and to have. I've been trying to get a permanent link, either for like an RSS feed for the recipes from all the flavors or ELR, and you just can't. But if I had that, I could post them as blog posts. But this is the next best thing, which is to have a dedicated URL that people can bookmark, check, come back to, and see our recipes. So let's see. All right, yeah, you guys got that link right there. We appreciate everybody watching, sticking around and subscribing and belling and liking the page and buying the one-shots and sharing our recipes and watching the Noted show and watching Jen's show. Just being supportive of the team. We appreciate you guys. And that pretty much does it. We got about 5 minutes. If either of you, Jen, if you want to talk about anything on your mind or any flavors or anything, you can go for it.
No, I'm sorry. Handling some other business here.
No worries. Well, thanks for stopping in. And Concrete, thank you for coming by as usual.
Oh yeah, good to see you, man. Good to hang out. I get a little weird when I don't show up on MixLife on a Sunday. It just throws my balance completely off.
Yeah, I feel like it's my failure test of laziness. Like if I skip MixLife, I'm like, fuck, I'm failing.
So that's the thing that's going to make the difference.
And then skipping the show becomes a habit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, I'm not feeling it this week. Yeah, I'm not feeling it this week.
Yeah.
And finally, I was like, yeah, I should probably run a show.
And we appreciate having the rare fox that comes out of the woods every now and then to grace people with her presence.
It's hard for me to get ready this early on a Sunday because I have the Vixen show at 6. So I tend to just kind of make my supper and eat and stuff. And by the time I get on here, it's like, oh, well, you guys are already done. So,
right.
well.
And then for me, this week's easy for me. But then on the other weeks, I have to like pry my child's hand off the mouse and hard quit Fortnite when he's not looking in order to get on the podcast. Struggle is real. He goes into high school this upcoming week, and I am doing my best to not freak the fuck out. So I just wish me luck. I have a
man, you old.
The freshman year is a lot easier than the next year's. Like they're very scared during their first freshman year, and then sophomore year they start getting rebellious.
I was just gonna keep training so that I can take him in a fight all the way through. That way he'll obey me, because he'll know that I can kick his ass if I had to. That's what I think. I just have to get past that point. MixLife 67.
Beating children.